don't know what that means. You know? Sorry. Just to make sure we're on the right. On live from you, is that it?
Mm-hmm.
All right, I'll post it to YouTube. Or did you already do it? Or Facebook? All right, you ready to do it?
Yeah.
Let's do it.
And welcome to the show. This is Pop Topics here on YouTube.com.
Ooh, what is this?
I am one of your hosts, Matt Boyd, at Matt Neil Boyd on Twitter, Neil with an A, and with me as always is Casey Shaheen.
Hello, at Gym Class Tryhard on them tweets.
This is Pop Topics, a show with all the media news you need, with none of the opinions you want. This is the first week where we're doing the YouTube live stream as opposed to the Facebook live stream. If you are here from the Facebook.com page, Facebook.com/5051radio, welcome. If this goes better or just as well as the Facebook page goes, then we're going to keep doing it from YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
If you are coming over to the YouTube page, go ahead and click on our YouTube page and subscribe. Once we get at least 100 subscribers, they will let us get a custom URL. So we have a much better way of getting to people and getting more people to watch the show.
Just help us out, fam.
More people, more money, more problems.
We need it. We need
more
it.
problems.
You know what? I agree. I disagree.
Oh,
No money, no problems.
you think so?
Yeah. When you have no money, it's so expensive to be poor.
I think that no money, one problem, and that is being poor. And
Well,
so
therein lies the, like, you're kind of lumping all the problems together.
Mhm.
Like if you don't have health insurance because you don't have money to pay for it, it
It-
gets more expensive. You got more problems.
yeah,
You can't pay your rent on time, you got more problems. You don't got enough money to be secure, you got to pick up an extra shift, but all of a sudden the kids got to eat. When you give them mac and cheese, all of a sudden now they have diabetes, more problems because you got no money.
Yeah.
No money, more problems.
it's a good point. It's a very good point. Speaking of problems, we don't have any because we're everywhere. We're
true.
all over the internet.
God, we are.
If you are watching the show on YouTube.com, the YouTube live stream, thank you. Like I said, please subscribe and get us some more subscribers so that we can get a custom URL. We are also on iTunes. Go to your iTunes or podcast app and search Pop Topics. You will find the iTunes feed for this show, which also has the episodes of We Drink and We Know Things, the Game of Thrones recap podcast that Casey and I do. Last
Very
night's
well, by the way.
episode is uploaded and up on iTunes. You can also find us on SoundCloud.com/5051radio. You can find all episodes of Pop Topics there. Anything else?
We got SoundCloud, we got YouTube. I mean, YouTube. That's big. We're making moves.
Yeah. We're going to get this
We're
YouTube
having
thing
a good
going.
time. We're
Yeah.
having fun. We are broadcasting from the Funky Bunker, the digs of Philip P. Grand. What's your middle name, Phil? What's your middle name?
Mine?
Uh-huh.
Nathaniel.
Oh, I thought it was Nathaniel.
Nate Dogg.
Nate Dogg. PNG, the guy,
There he
our
is.
producer, seducer. That's the show. Matt, talk to me about your week.
I had a pretty fun week. I was just doing the goddamn thing. I was just it's fucking hard to have fun when you're just waiting on the moon. The eclipse came, the eclipse went.
I had a real good time.
With the eclipse.
Yeah, like it's the first day I've really had off in a while.
Yeah.
So like that was fun. Wait, like the anticipation was pretty cool.
Yeah.
But go tell me how did you were doing what? Where
Well,
were you?
I mean, I was just first of all, it was well documented on last week's show. I was super excited for nothing to happen. I was really going all in on the flat Earth theory, which I still haven't figured out. I'm still trying to figure out. Does the eclipse happening, is that good proof or bad proof for flat Earth? Because it kind of feels like it might be good proof.
It's bad
Because
proof.
it's like if everyone saw it, then how'd Australia and America see it?
Well, they didn't see it.
Australia didn't see the eclipse?
You only see it. They had that band that was running from Seattle to South Carolina or North Carolina, but it ran across the states.
So only America saw the eclipse?
Well, I think so. The Western Hemisphere. I think that's how it works. But then again, I'm not a flat earther. I'm a round earther.
That sounds like some real exceptionalism.
They believe that the moon.
coming out of your
They
mouth.
believe that the moon just kind of like sits in the sky and just like goes around the disk.
Which kind of makes sense. It's like in cartoons whenever they do the time warp and they do it really fast and the sun and the moon just like go up in the sky, come back down. That's what they think happens.
I think so.
They think we're encourage the cowardly dog.
They do.
It's not the worst theory I've ever heard.
It's not a great theory either.
But I was at work when the eclipse happened, and it was dark for a couple minutes. The one thing that I thought was crazy, I thought was absolutely outrageous, is that like businesses closed and kids were out of school for the eclipse. It was 2 fucking minutes. All right,
Half day. Let's call it a half day.
let's call it a half day,
call it what
or
it is.
let's just when the eclipse is about to happen, just everyone step outside for a minute, watch the eclipse, go back to work.
The rationale for them closing schools down was because they didn't want to be responsible for kids having their eyes burnt.
Was that really what it was?
Yeah, that was what I believe that was the rationale for Rutherford County Schools. If someone could fact check me on that, that would be excellent. But I think that's the reason why they closed down schools. It was also a thing that I think about business ventures that I really wish that I would have taken advantage of, something that I would have really gone into and capitalized on. And here it is, Matt. Fucking
Blue Moon?
fucking glasses. I could have bought these last week and sold them for like $5 on Broadway and made a killing. You can buy 50 for like $20. And I could have made a killing. And I didn't do it. And I'm like, oh, why didn't I do it? Because I'm an idiot. But there's a reason that the schools were shutting down. Is because I don't think they could procure verified solar eclipse glasses. Because there were a lot of recalls from the different Metro Parks areas here in Nashville. Because again, we are broadcasting from the Metro Nashville area, which is where it was part of the Totality band. And I don't know, have you put these on? Try them on.
No. I didn't have to because where I was for the eclipse was just the biggest cloud I've ever seen in my entire life. There's never been a cloud bigger.
There is
than
a
the
cloud
one
bigger.
that was blanketing the sun.
The biggest cloud I've ever seen.
I can't see anything.
You can't because you only see like the solar version. You feel like Cyclops.
You can only see the sun?
Yeah, well, yeah, you can see the sun, and then like you could see it like dimming out.
Oh.
And then if you put your phone up and you would take a picture of it, even the slightest sliver of sun looked like the full sun. That's how strong it is.
Yeah.
Which is a testament to how fucking dope the sun is.
I think that the clouds being over the sun was maybe the best thing for Nashville because I was genuinely worried about how many people were just going to look straight at the sun. Lo and behold,
you can look straight at it when during totality.
Yeah, I know, but like once the worst part to look is like once it starts moving off a little bit because you can still look, but that's when the fucking UVs are coming through.
Well, I was reading about that today.
You can bake them.
So it goes through phases. There's a little handout from the Vanderbilt Dyer Observatory that was floating around the party, and it kind of talked about the phases of it. So you got your partial eclipse, and when it gets mostly there, you see a nuptial. Pre-partial eclipse is the little Pac-Man phase. It's not what they said, but
Yeah.
we added one. And then when you get really close, you have this one called Bailey's Beads. It's when the moon is just at almost covering the sun, and you see the sun coming through the peaks and valleys of the craters on the moon. And then you have Diamond Ring, which is when you get very close to it, and then you see that one piece of sun coming out.
Yeah.
And then you got totality for between 60 seconds and 2 minutes, and then it goes through through the phases again. And I looked at it during the diamond ring phase after it was over, the whole after totality, and I thought it was dope. Like I looked for a while and I thought that maybe like, why do I have this headache? What's going on? Do my eyes hurt? No, I was just being a hypochondriac because I looked into the sun for a good period of time afterwards, and by good period I mean within 5 or 10 seconds. But then at a certain point it started getting too bright, and I put my glasses back on to watch it go. But it was awesome, man.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. It was. I saw a lot of pictures of like the sun. The craziest thing to me was that like when the moon went over the sun and it was like dark for a couple minutes, nature went crazy.
Did it?
Nature
I heard
went
that
crazy.
It goes crazy.
Crickets were going off.
Crickets were
fucking
popping off.
birds were flying around. Dogs were barking, and that's when I was scared.
Well, that
I
was
was
just
like,
Nashville. Dogs were just barking all the time.
because my general rule of thumb is that if nature doesn't fuck with it, I don't fuck with it. All right.
Nature fucks with owls. You don't fuck with owls.
No, nature hates owls. Ask anyone. Ask any animal. They hate owls.
Well,
Owls are
I'll be the judge of that.
owls are the worst animal on the planet. The only one that I'm truly scared of. I would rather fight a bear than like be stuck in a room with an owl.
Would you rather fight a bear be on the wall or just in person?
Just any bear. Any bear. I'll 3 bears. How about that? I'll fight 3 bears and 1 hairy gay man. Other than
I'd say you fight
an
3
owl.
bears. You know what? The one in the middle, just the right strength.
Yeah.
The little one's too soft.
Mm-hmm.
The other one's just too hard, and then the other one's just right. Kill 3 bears, dude.
How was your week, Casey?
Man, it was really good. Leading up to this, the eclipse, and I've got kind of the take on the eclipse is that it's like the anticipation of it was a lot.
Do you have a hot take on the eclipse?
I wouldn't say it's a hot take. I'd say that the take cools down the temperature of the air for about 20 seconds. It's a cool take. I think it's a cool way to look at it. I don't know. I don't know how I'm going to say this. But I felt like the anticipation of it was a lot better than the actual event. Even though the event was cool, it came and went, and that was it. There was no residual effect of it. It's not like there was like a tsunami and then we had to look at the aftermath. It didn't affect anything. So it's like, oh, that happened. Pretty cool.
Yeah.
And it reminds me a lot of like the season finale of Game of Thrones. Like the anticipation getting there is gonna be better than the actual event, because after last night's episode or Sunday's episode, I still feel a little bit taken for granted, a little salty. And I look at it like this Saturday is the Floyd Mayweather and Conor McGregor fight. The anticipation of that is a lot better than the actual event itself, because it's going to come and go, and then what do we have to deal with? The aftermath. What's the aftermath? Nothing. So I think for me it had some nice like symbolic value. I was like, I got to see something that I was interested in seeing my entire life. But it didn't change the way that I look at the world. Like, I know that the earth is round. The birds started chirping again when we came from the twilight hours. I got to hang out and drink with friends. That was fun. But I got a little bit of a hangover from drinking so much all day. I got into a pool for the first time this summer. I mean, that's probably
Whoa.
Yeah.
I don't remember last time I was in a pool.
I can't remember the last time I saw a movie in theaters. I can't remember. Like, it's like that kind of thing. It's like, I'm not trying to be cynical about it, but I thought it was interesting, but it wasn't as interesting as we wanted it to be. But I think that's exactly where it needed to be.
Yeah, it's just some moon shit. I don't know. People just, they want a reason to celebrate anything. It's like people really didn't, like a million places were closed in Nashville for the eclipse. It's like, just fucking go to work. Like work. You know what I mean? Like, you don't have to close down for the moon. You know what I'm saying? The moon's not going to not do something for you. The moon is here.
But the moon does a lot for us. It does a lot for us. It brings us tides. It is a fun way to say showing your butt. I don't know. Moon's pretty cool. By the way, fact checker from the WMTS days, friend of the show and friend always, Robin Hardcastle. She went and saw the eclipse. I saw all the postings that she did. Her and Doug found a really good spot. Or she said she gave Doug all the credit, like a lovely lady should. Gave Doug all the credit for finding a spot where they got a lot of totality, the longest totality they could find. The pictures are great, by the way. I want to know if you could just post those, Robin, like to our page. That'd be sick. But it says that to our question about Rutherford County closing schools. Rutherford County schools closed last minute because a lot of teachers were taking the day off and didn't want to leave kids with substitute teachers with, quote, no Eclipse training.
Who has Eclipse training?
They did. I did read an article about how they did go through a training thing over the summer, or even last semester, and they did teach show the teachers what to do, and they went through all the phases of everything, and then everyone wanted the day off, so they kind of did that training for nothing, and they can't tell teachers not to take a day off. So they have training.
I get it.
What do you need to train for? Hey, kids, don't look up at the fucking sun.
Well, I mean, if your glasses were askew, maybe, there's a curious fucking kid. His name's probably Tyler. And
Yeah, but you can't help
his
those
boogers
kids.
on his weird shirt.
You can't help those kids. All right, let's weed out the dumb ones.
Are we gonna
all right?
thin out the out the crowd?
let's get the disobedient kids
Get 'em
out
outta
of
here.
school. You're questioning authority at 4 years old. You're looking at the sun. I think it's about time for you to go.
I agree. You know what? Kill the bad ones.
Weed them out. Weed them out. If you don't know not to look up at the moon, you don't deserve to live on the moon when we go in 2030. Elon Musk, I'm with you.
You know, Elon Musk is saying that killer robots are coming sooner than later.
Cool. I'm ready for him. I really am. I'm ready for killer robots. Kill
Cool.
me now.
Yeah,
Fucking kill me now.
rad. I love that.
I wish this computer would shoot me now. Just put me out. I'm like the Hound. Just kill me. Just get me out of here.
Just kill me. These Eclipse glasses are just gonna end up in my pocket or in my shit drawer at the house until 2024 when it comes back from Texas to Maine.
What if we find out that those are actually just what if someone accidentally wears them into a movie theater and we find out they're just 3D glasses? And you go blind the second you see 3D movie. You watch Spy Kids 3D for the first time in years.
As far as I'm concerned, the peak of technology is either the Muppets show at Disney or it is Spy Kids 3D because that shit was monumental.
Yeah, that shit was pretty dope.
Plus, Alexa Vega was super hot.
There's also Sly Cooper 3, the phenomenal PS2 game, was also in 3D. There were sections of the video game that were in 3D.
No way, really?
They had the manual to the game. They had pop-out 3D glasses, and there were little sections where they put your glasses on. It was a 3D video game, which how do you do that?
Really?
Yeah. It was pretty cool, too, and it worked. It worked.
I like that. See, that's pretty cool. That's a pretty cool use of the technology. Make it kind of novel. Don't make it like the crux of it. Remember 3D TVs? People bought
They've had 3D TVs?
yeah, like LED.
Oh, I do remember. Yeah.
That was it was
Yeah.
probably 2015 or something.
Yeah.
That was the thing for a while.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I thought it was pretty cool. Pretty cool. So the eclipse, the best thing about the eclipse is that not only did the moon cover the sun, but the eclipse in general kind of eclipsed what we've been kind of subjected to in the media since last November. It's kind of how everything's this, outraged culture, a lot of alt-right stuff, a lot of.
I mean,
a lot of this and that.
are we totally sure that the eclipse wasn't sexist? Are we sure?
Well, I mean, it was definitely racist. It was definitely racist.
Was it racist?
Yeah, the eclipse was the moon was telling us, yeah, Black lives do matter.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Black is beautiful. And you can look at it but not for too long. Not for too long.
Not for too long.
What you looking at me? The eclipse did eclipse a lot of the news. I think it was kind of cool that we were. That was what people were talking about instead of talking about Charlottesville, instead of talking about this and that. I love the fact that it came over, and this is going to sound sappy and soft and whatever, but the fact that it did traverse the country, the entire country, and during a time when we're really divided, and everyone stopped talking about it for a minute. You know what else people stopped doing?
What?
Jerking off.
Did they?
I have a story. Can we get into the news?
Go into
the
it. Even.
We tee the
Pray tell.
Pray tell. Will you tee up the format again, Matt?
Yeah, this is a show with all the media news that you need with none of the opinions you want. Casey and I find different stories throughout the week, news stories, different articles. We pull them up, we talk about them, and we discuss them with you, the audience. If you like what we talk about and you want to hear more, just subscribe to the YouTube page that you are on right now, or that you will be on in the future. If you're listening on iTunes, go to the facebook.com/5051 radio page and click on the YouTube. We don't have a custom URL yet for the YouTube. We need 100 subscribers before we can do that. So if you're watching the show right now, subscribe. If you're not watching the show right now, still subscribe. If you've never watched the show, subscribe.
Get used to it.
Yeah.
Get used to it. This is going to be your new favorite show.
Yeah.
We're talking about the eclipse, Matt. So porn traffic took a major blow during the eclipse. This comes by way of complex.com. I read this one this morning. It was written by Gavin Evans. In addition to Netflix having a temporary drop in viewers on Monday afternoon's solar eclipse, porn site Xhamster also saw a lull in traffic as potential spectators opted to do something that could actually make them go blind.
Quit hitting my
That's
knee.
funny.
I'm so tired of it.
I'm sorry, it's like Dave
Every
Chappelle.
time when I'm not looking, it scares the shit out of me.
It's my Dave Chappelle. It's like my... It's just built in. It's just where I'm faking camaraderie right now.
Oh.
Will it actually make them go blind? You know how when they say you jerk off?
Yeah.
It'll make you go blind?
Looking up at the sun
That's
makes
fun.
you go blind.
Instead of just doing something their moms told them would make them go blind when they were 13. As Xhamster themselves reported from their own blog drop, they have a blog?
Who?
Xhamster. Do we need to add that to our bookmarks?
What's a fucking blog? What is a
Updates.
blog anymore?
Updates.
They have a website. They can put a lot of videos on it. You ever seen the Xhamster vlog?
It's a podcast with words, if I'm not mistaken.
Podcast.
This is actually kind of fun. So this is actually from the Xhamster blog. I'm on the page right now. It's a blog post called Traffic to Xhamster Plummets During Eclipse. It says that porn traffic with a complete to near total eclipse like Charleston, South Carolina, Nashville, Portland, Oregon dropped as much as 50% points while cities with less eclipses like New York, Los Angeles, and Miami saw smaller declines. Below percentages drop off for peak hours during the eclipse. Topping the list at 43% dip in traffic, Nashville, Tennessee. They hyped it up right.
Yeah.
I want to know what the other 67% were doing. Were they jerking it during the eclipse?
That you would imagine that's what that means, right? Is that if you only lost how much percentage did they lose?
Well, it went down 43%, I think, from the time that it normally would be, like using an average. So it's 43% less than normal.
But that means that 57% were
Was it
still
57? Yes.
jerking off during the eclipse.
Well, I don't think it's 57%. It went down 43%. So, yeah, 57% of the average amount of people
Are still jerking off during the eclipse. You can't put it down for 2 minutes. You can't fucking put it down. I don't know how many 2-minute windows there are in an average day, but that's the 2-minute window where you just can't set it down.
It's a disease, man.
You know? You're just cleaning out the pipes while the moon's going over the sun. This is monumental shit, Nashville. All right? We're never going to see it in totality in Nashville ever again. The next time is in 17 million years is the next time. I just made that up, but it sounds about right. When was the last time it was totality in Nashville? Wasn't it like 500 years ago or something?
99
It was,
years
yeah, like 100 years ago. But when's the next time that you're going to be able to jerk off during a full solar eclipse?
See, that's a good
I was
point.
wondering
That's
the
a good
same
point.
thing.
You can jerk off whenever, though. Give the moon a little goddamn respect is what I'm getting at, all right?
I mean, are you jerking off to another moon? Is it perhaps someone's bare butt?
You know what I was wondering? Do you think that Colin Kaepernick was kneeling during totality?
No, I think it's because it echoed his sentiment.
Yeah?
Yeah. That Black Lives
The
do
world
matter.
was a little bit blacker.
The world's a little bit darker. Flowers were a little bit droopier.
I can't believe people amaze me. Just on every side. It's people fucking, you get out of school a whole day for 2 minutes. You can't quit jerking off for 2 minutes. Just show this moon a little respect, okay? Put some respect on its name.
Put some respect on Luna's name.
Yeah. This thing's never lost, okay? The moon has never lost. And you can't just sit there and just chill for 2 seconds. Salute the moon. I don't care. Do whatever you got to do.
Salute the moon with your boner.
I guess.
That's what I said.
I don't know.
Yeah, so then afterwards, people made up for lost time by flocking to the site at the tune of an 85% surge in Portland and 62% surge in Charleston.
I really don't get how.
So as soon as it was done, they're like, that was pretty dope. I'm going to go jerk off
Right
now.
back on porn, yeah. Just right away.
That is insane to
People
me.
in porn genuinely like weird me out. Like like you see all these numbers that come from Pornhub. They put out all these metrics, and you see shit like this where it's like after the moon went over the sun, 85% of the average viewer base were on the porn site immediately after the totality was over. It's like, what are people doing with their time? This was at 2 p.m. Central Time. So if you're in Nashville, the sun comes back out and you're just like, well, this is what I'm doing with the rest of my day. Jerking off.
I mean, you take the day off and what are you going to do all day? I don't know. Probably just jerk off or fuck around. Maybe they're being serious.
People are weird. People are crazy. People are crazy. Put it down for
A
2
goddamn
seconds.
minute.
Yeah.
We're going to say it. A goddamn minute.
Put it down. Put it down. Put it down. It's not worth it. Put it down.
Matt, what episode of Pop Topics is this?
I believe this is episode 60.
Wow.
We're hitting the big 6-0 today. Why?
I'm just adjusting the name of the video because I'm sharing it to the page. But I just wanted to double check with you. So yeah, porn, jerking off during the eclipse. Do you think it surges up during halftime of the Super Bowl? Or do you think people just jerk off right through the Super Bowl?
I think if you're the type of person that can't put it down for 2 minutes during, a monumental event in Earth history, I don't think you are watching the Super Bowl. Something tells me that the average midday jerker is not a big fan of football. Is that the craziest thing I've ever said?
Might be. I like it though. I think it's fair. Like it holds up.
The average NFL fan, man, they have a job. They got shit to do. They can't be jerking off in the middle of the day unless
you're Bill Belichick.
This is something that I didn't really factor
or
in.
Zeke Elliott. He's got a lot of time to jerk off now.
Maybe a lot of these people are watching porn at work. We ever think about that? Maybe they're not jerking it. There's a lot of people that recreationally watch porn. So, just sit around and watch it.
I suppose you are right. Yeah. Wait, have you ever watched porn and not jerked it?
No.
I mean, post jerking it, you're like, all right, I got to see how this ends. But like, maybe can I have that from you? That maybe after you're done, like after you've spent your
Yeah. I like to finish up.
I see how this ends. Like you got to tie up loose ends.
Yeah.
Can't wait for next season.
There's a lot of production that goes into that thing, and I wanna see the credits. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They deserve that much from me. But no, I've never watched it and just like it's fucking TV show.
Yeah, neither have I. Like it's just on, like in the background.
Yeah.
Like, first of all, the dialogue sucks. And it only gets me there while I'm trying to get there. And once I'm there, I don't want it anymore. It's a lot like the solar eclipse. The build-up's a lot better than the actual moment.
Yeah.
The anticipation, the speed in which you can get it going. Know what I mean?
I know what you mean.
So what other stories we got, Matt? You want to keep it on the eclipse?
No, I don't.
All right, go.
I feel like we gave a 2-minute window in the moon's life enough time. What I want to talk about is a group of people that I have berated in the past on this show, and I want to put just a tiny amount, just a smidge of respect on their name.
Okay.
This story comes by way of GQ.com. Juggalos and Trump supporters are marching on Washington on the same day. This story comes by way of Jack Moore.
I love this one.
In the wake of the horrific scene in Charlottesville, it feels like the nation is more on edge than it has been in a long time. The specter of white nationalism and a revitalized Nazi movement hang over our day-to-day lives, and the promise of more dangerous and disgusting assemblies like the one in Virginia last weekend is enough to leave anyone feeling shaken. So when I heard that Trump supporters were planning a quote-unquote mother of all rallies in Washington, D.C. on September 16th, I started to get nervous. Now, obviously, all people who voted for Donald Trump aren't white supremacists or Nazi sympathizers, but
there are good people on both sides.
Anyone who wants to march on Washington in Donald Trump's name after his comments defending white supremacists and Nazis is at the very least okay with the hate groups he's defending. Which brings me to the funny part of the story, which, thank God, because there has been a distinct lack of funny in politics for a while now. So, it turns out that the day the MOAR is set to take place is the same day that a very different, the march on...
Make...
the mother of all rallies. The MOAR is set to take place in the same day that a very different sort of march is set to take place. September 16th is also the day the Insane Clown Posse, also known as ICP, also known as the Juggalos, also known as Thuggalos, also known as Fagalos,
I love that.
and their fans plan to march on D.C. to protest their FBI classification as a loosely organized hybrid gang.
I love that. I
Now,
love that.
when I heard that Juggalos were going to be marching in Washington on the same day as Donald Trump supporters, I honestly felt like this could go either way. They could be teaming up. They could be the Targaryens and Winterfell. They could be teaming up. It very well could have been in opposition of each other. Turns out it's just a scheduling snafu. They both scheduled a march on the same day in the same place.
It's like the 3-on-3 basketball tournament being scheduled at the same day and the
Yes.
same place as the Conor McGregor and Floyd Mayweather fight.
Yes.
It's like,
Now,
oops. It's like having 2 dates to the prom.
right. Now, what happens in this situation? Who knows? Neither side is backing down. They both still plan on marching in Washington on September 16th. But though there certainly are quote unquote juggalos for Trump, which is a real group, Insane Clown Posse themselves don't seem like they would be. Take, for instance, the song Confederate Flag with the typical violent flourishes that ICP is famous for. Violent J and Shaggy, Too Dope, make it clear that white supremacy is not their thing. Quote. And this is from an Insane Clown Posse song called Confederate Flag.
I want to know what these lyrics. Can we guess what the lyrics are?
I have them right here.
Are they? Can I guess? Are they
Sure.
pro or are they against? 'Cause I didn't read this part
Yeah.
of the article. Is it about?
This isn't guessing. You're asking me a question. Do you think that it's pro or anti?
Well, okay, can I get three? Can I get three
Sure.
questions? All right. Does it say bars?
No.
Okay. Does it make a reference to Fago?
No.
Does it say anything about shoving it in or out of an orifice?
Strike 3.
Okay, cool.
I say, fuck your rebel flag. Out here pretending like you ain't offending, I say, fuck your rebel flag. You redneck judges and racist grudges, I say, fuck your rebel flag. If you got a tattoo, I'm aiming at you. I say, fuck your rebel flag. You get punched in your faces, repping the racists.
Maya
Angelou.
It's got a real Jack Frost twinge to it. The road less taken.
I for one, I've said a lot of bad things about Juggalos on this show.
Violent J, best name though.
Here's my thing, is that I really did. I read the top of this story and I felt like, come on, guys, you're better than this. You're not. The ICP, as white trash as they are, I will not concede that point. They are white trash, but they are the white trash that are on our side. They are the wildlings, and we are
right.
Westeros. But we could use them because the bigger war is against Nazis, and we'll take all the allies that we can get because this Nazi group, they're fucking coming.
They're too much. Yeah, you know they're coming. They're probably coming during the eclipse too because they're uninterested.
we need to
Fucking
make the Juggalos our
dickheads.
friends.
And they're flat earthers.
Here's the thing. I'm pro Juggalo because all they need is a huggalo. You know what I'm saying?
I don't even think Juggalos need hugs because have you seen the gathering? I want to see an aerial picture of the gathering of the Juggalos. That seems like something I really want to see. If you're watching, just go and post that in the comment section of the Facebook video or the YouTube video. I'd love to see that. Do you think that it would come together like a Suicide Squad from this last week's Beyond the Wall episode and the Whites? Do you think that it could? I mean, when is this scheduled? Did we miss it?
September 16th.
September 16th.
No, it hasn't happened yet.
So do you think that they're like mining dragon glass right now, which is basically just like
I don't know, man.
I don't know.
I'm waiting to see like a Nazi versus Juggalo, like a black Juggalo and a white supremacist fight each other to the death.
I like backyard wrestling for PS2.
Right. One's got a tiki torch, the other one has a machete. Let's have them just go at each other. I want to see like a West Side Story, fucking sharks
Tiki
versus
torch
jets.
versus a hatchet.
Yeah,
I like that.
yeah. Let's see it. Let's see what you got, white supremacists.
Well,
Going up against what you thought were your allies, because I guarantee you, white supremacists thought that Juggalos would be, anyone before this happened would say, I bet Juggalos are super racist. But they're not.
I don't know, man. I feel like every time, like the Juggalos have a really good PR campaign in the sense that the people that are defending Juggalos aren't Juggalos. I've noticed in like a couple podcasts I listen to, All Fantasy Everything being one of them, Sean Cougar Mellon Jordan, he said it's the best show he's ever been to. He goes, and I defend that wholeheartedly. He goes, they're great. There was an episode of Workaholics where they defended the Juggalos, and Rebel Wilson was a Juggalette. And she's like the princess, which is very funny. And it's like everyone that I talk to about Juggalos is like, no, I know a couple people that are Juggalos, and they're not that bad. They're just big fans. They're not that they're not racist. They're really into whatever they're doing.
Yeah, they're like the Kiss of our generation. It's like, yeah, some of them have
Shameless.
jobs, you know. Some of them, there's a nice face under all that paint.
That was Al
you know?
Madrigal in that episode, wasn't it?
And what?
In that episode of Workaholics. I think he was the main Juggalo.
I don't remember.
I think he was the one who gave a business card to Durs. It was super funny because Durs was trying to like network and get business cards, and he got one from like a siding guy, and I think it was Al Madrigal in Juggalo makeup. It's pretty funny. So they look. I mean, if we're going to talk about the battle that's going to ensue, we talk about the training that seems like it's happening in Seattle.
The real life battle of bastards.
Mm-hmm.
Juggalo v. Nazi.
Are you talking about this one right here?
Yeah, go ahead.
Never heard of this website before, but I like it. TheStranger.com. Not to be confused with the website devoted to sitting on your hand for an extended period of time until it falls asleep and jerking off with it, so it feels like someone else is jerking you off. Slog. This comes from the Slog, so it's like a blog. I don't know. It says Alex Jones comes to Seattle, rants on street corner, gets doused by coffee by quote unquote vicious leftists. Attention-thirsty conspiracy theorist Alex Jones, an architect of this here studio, is in Seattle for some reason. For the second day in a row, he has been standing on a street corner downtown ranting about the global elite's effort to crash the economy, the CIA's plans to kill Donald Trump, and how everyone he sees has been brainwashed by HBO comedian John Oliver. During the morning session, a few seconds after Jones decided Seattleites who told him to fuck off are the quote-unquote biggest cucks on the planet, sick burn, a passerby confronted Jones, unscrewed the lid of his to-go mug, and threw coffee, which I assume is Seattle's best, in the conspiracy theorist's face. The action starts around 3:40 in this video. I don't need to watch the video to see that. Jones's conclusion is that, quote, this is why they are allied with jihadis, because they hate the West so much. These people are bots. They're in a cult, and they don't know what's going on. Jones has argued that 9/11 was an inside job. The Boston Marathon bombing was staged, and the school shootings at Sandy Hook involved actors. And now that the protests in Charlottesville involved, quote, Jewish actors, he has run the vibrant side of business saying that he has run a vibrant side business selling diet supplements. He has the ears of the President of the United States. This all comes, I mean, this is mostly pulled from John Oliver, so, like, I get that. But do you think that the Juggalos are going to start, throwing hot coffee, maybe hot Faygo?
Ooh,
at their Nazis?
piping hot Faygo.
Rock and rye?
Yeah.
They're going to make rock and rye rockets?
Dude, I hope make Molotov cocktails out of Faygo. Is it flammable? Faygo's probably flammable,
Have you
right?
felt Faygo hit your stomach lining before?
No, but it
is
doesn't
dissolving.
sound great.
It
does
dissolves
not
your
sound
stomach
great.
lining.
I watched this video of Alex Jones in Seattle, and like he's just a straight up crazy person. Like there's no this is one of those things because a lot of people have been saying like we're giving. It was like the argument I had with Kanye West, where it's like people want to think that he's like this is like a master plan or like he knows what he's doing. And I was like, I think we're giving him too much credit. I think that Kanye West is just literally crazy and a little sociopathic. And we're giving him too much credit on this, like it's his message. And people say that about Donald Trump, where it's like he's not evil, he's fucking stupid.
Yeah.
And now it's Alex Jones too, because you watch his video and he's literally just walking around the streets of Seattle and just yelling at people. No, just willy-nilly, just looking at somebody like, I bet he's a liberal, and like runs over and will just berate these guys. And like he's just a crazy person. He's crazy.
Yeah, he's so unhinged.
Yeah.
That he just seems like that kid in school that worries about a fire during a tornado drill or a tornado during a fire drill. You know, is like, but if it does happen, we were ready. Yeah, but that's not going to happen. Like, it's the guy that bets all of his money on one specific number in roulette and says, I'm going to keep doing this and I'm going to, but somehow he profits from it.
Yeah.
Maybe that metaphor doesn't make sense, but I'd like to make it work. If you can make it work, give us a call. 6 months. No, I'm kidding. I don't know. He just seems the worst.
It's just like watching this video, but which, by the way, the guy that throws the coffee on him handled it just about as well as he could. I mean, there's really that was the tamest thing that he could have done when Alex Jones was running after him. Because Alex Jones, before the guy even threw the coffee, was like running after this guy that he was trying to like make fun of, and the guy just wasn't having it. He was just looking at Alex Jones like, oh yeah, and just kept walking.
Do you think he's looking to like kind of sacrifice himself so he can get Richard Spencer style clout?
Yeah. It seems like he's doing that thing where it's like he wants them to like assault him so that he can profit off of it.
You know, he always talks about these snowflakes and victim mentality. That is the most victim mentality thing in the world. That's like Munchausen syndrome for his career.
Yeah.
It's a fucking nightmare.
Yeah.
Can you imagine being that crazy?
Yeah, it looks like it's pretty fun.
It does.
He looks like he's having a good
wrong.
time when he's doing it. But I'm glad that I can't. I'm glad that I'm not that.
Yeah, it's like I just have too much shame. Like, just too much. I'm just embarrassed. I was listening to the sorry, hit you. Joe Rogan the other day with episode 1000 with Joey Diaz and Tommy Buns, and you know, he said, Joey Diaz said that, like, he says, I just felt bad. Even when I was coked out all the time, I felt bad, like, pimping my CDs and stuff. Because it's just embarrassing. And I'm like, I get that.
Yeah.
I'm still embarrassed to post this on Facebook sometimes.
Well, you should be.
Oh, of course. Because, you know, you don't want to, who's going to, like, talk about their training regimen? Oh, Mayweather and Conor McGregor posting their workout, their pre-fight workouts.
Yeah.
Weird.
I don't know, man. I am I don't. Alex Jones is just, he's fucking, my favorite thing too is that this is all, like, he goes to Seattle to, like, because of John Oliver.
John Oliver's in New York.
I know, exactly. It's like, why are you in Seattle if you're like out there trying to prove to people that everyone is being what did he say? Like, being brainwashed by John Oliver. It's like, why are you going to Seattle? Maybe he was probably just there.
It's right here. It says so. There's an asterisk next to attention in the first line. Attention, thirsty conspiracy theorist Alex Jones is in Seattle for some reason. And I looked at the bottom of the article, and this is the justification. Quote, my wife went to college here, and I'm here with my children, and we wanted to come have a workcation while she saw some of her old friends and went off and did stuff, and she went and she saw killer whales and stuff. It's such a beautiful, wonderful American city. Very bottom of the page.
Yeah. I don't...
He talks like Donald Trump.
We talking about his ex-wife?
This isn't the only time that he's fought in Seattle, because remember, Chobani, he had that fight with Chobani in Seattle. That Seattle-based lawsuit saying that Chobani yogurt was, I don't know, interdimensional alien cum.
Run by interdimensional pedophiles, yeah. Which, you know, duh.
Holds up. I don't know. It's just... What the hell? So, I mean, there we are. You want to speak more about Southern Pride? We got two avenues to get there.
Yep.
I want you to segue into that one.
Yep. Here we go. They're back in the news.
Thank God. Now that the eclipse is over, we can get back to the important shit.
You thought we were done, and we're not. I'm fucking over. I'm gonna throw this computer through the goddamn wall. I'm so fucking tired of ads.
Keep going.
On websites.
Keep going.
Like Business Insider. You're not making here's a little business advice for you, Business Insider. Take the fucking banner ads off of your video, and maybe people will spend a little bit more money on your website. Why the fuck do you have these pop-ups on Business Insider? Are you not making enough money doing what you're doing? Business Insider? Why do you have these I don't give a fuck about the new Galaxy book. I don't. I don't know who is. I also don't know who clicks on any of these fucking pop-up ads whenever they come up. All they do is annoy people. No one likes them. No one likes these things. Why are they still here? This is why journalism is dead. This is why. This is why it's all fake fucking news. I'm not even worried about fake news anymore. You know what kind of news I'm not reading is news on websites with pop-up ads. That's the news I'm done with. If you have fake news and you don't have pop-up ads, I believe it. It's real news at this point. These fucking I don't even know how to get rid of this one. It's just there. It's like I'm trying to every time it's
I hate Business Insider anyway. Mine's not even there. Look at that. Mine's not even there. It's like it just fucks with your code. You want to read it from my? You got it.
White nationalists are flocking to genetic ancestry tests, but many don't like their results. This comes by way of Eric Boudman. Dumb fucking name on this dumb fucking website. It was a strange moment of triumph against racism. The gunslinging white supremacist Craig Cobb dressed up for daytime TV in a dark suit and red tie, hearing that his DNA test revealed his ancestry to be only, quote, 86% European and 14% sub-Saharan African.
You are not.
You black
100%
motherfucker. The studio audience whooped and laughed and cheered, and Cobb, who was in 2013 charged with terrorizing people while trying to create an all-white enclave in North Dakota.
Which, by the way, last week we said best place to start.
Yeah, I'm actually for Cobb's plan.
Let's secede.
Round up all the white people, white nationalists, white supremacists, put them in one state, give them that state, bomb it a couple years later.
Yeah.
The studio already said that. Quote, wait a minute, hold on, just wait a minute, he said, trying to put on an all-knowing smile. This is called statistical noise. Which is exactly what...
Did they say he smirked, right?
Yeah. Then, according to the Southern Poverty Law Center, he took to the white nationalist website Stormfront to dispute those results. That's not uncommon. With the rise of spit-in-a-cup genetic testing, there's a trend of white nationalists using these services to prove their racial identity and then using online forums to discuss the results. But, like Cobb, many are disappointed to find out that their ancestry is not as white as they'd hoped. In a new study, sociologists Aaron Panofsky and Joan Donovan examined years' worth of posts on Stormfront to see how members dealt with the news.
Remember what happened in Hastings, Michigan?
No.
That police officer?
Oh, yeah.
What was his name?
I don't remember.
I think it might be on the clips on the YouTube. That was one of the best stories. He got called racial stuff because he was like, what 5% black? Mm-hmm. And they started like throwing racial epithets at him.
It's striking, they say, that white nationalists would post their results online at all. After all, as Panofsky put it, they will basically say if you want to be a member of Stormfront, you have to be 100% white European, not Jewish.
Making sure they're not Jewish.
Yeah.
Sorry, Phil. You can't do it.
Instead of rejecting members who got contrary results, Donovan said the conversations are overwhelmingly focused on helping the person to rethink the validity of the genetic testing. And some of those critiques, while emerging from deep-seated racism, are close to scientists' own qualms about commercial genetic ancestry testing.
Are we giving them a little bit of credit? And is that what that just did? Maybe I interpreted that wrong. Some of those critiques, while emerging from deep-seated racism, are close to scientists' own qualms about commercial ancestry testing. Like,
yeah, I mean,
does that mean that, like, what are the qualms? I don't even know what the ethics are.
Listen, I'm no geneticist, okay? But I don't.
Stop. Why does your shirt say geneticist?
I don't know if spitting in a cup and mailing it across the country is like the best way to find out your nationality. I'm kind of on board with that. It doesn't sound very accurate. What if the spit dries up before it gets there? You put a little water in it, mix it up.
The genes are still there. They also may retain, this is what I understand of it, they retain the rights to the use of your DNA over time. Like, so if you go to get tested for DNA or whatever, it like they can keep that and they just have rights to it now. Or maybe that, yeah. And then I guess that's what Westworld was kind of about. Is they possibly that with the rise of Westworld came out of the TV show was out of people's like genetic code that they would leave in the park, and they would like could create genetic material out of
They
that.
were leaving all that cum in the park.
All that cum.
Yeah.
They had that little. It was a little spit vial inside them giners.
Yeah.
Them robot giners. The bionic giner.
I think that this shit is just so hilarious because no one's white. Okay. Everybody poops, and no one's white. No one's as white as they think they are. This is geneticist Matt that's saying this. He's very credible.
You wear these, please.
I don't know if they like if people understand that like there's a lot of race mixing going on, guys. You know what I mean?
Especially on
Especially on the internet.
where I mean all porn should be interracial.
I can't see anything. I
Talked
can't
about that
do it.
last
I
week.
can't even look at you.
Well, I mean, your takes are so hot that I might need to I might need to put them on because you're coming up with some real. You're burning bright right now.
I think that it's hilarious that these like white supremacists are like, oh yeah, let me I'll take this test, show you how white I am, and they find out they're fucking 3% black, and they're like, shit. Now what? I want Richard Spencer to take one of these tests.
I do too.
You having fun?
Yeah, I was sorry. I was just someone.
Could
posted
you
about-
see your computer screen while you're doing that?
I was looking under it.
Oh.
I sneezed earlier and I'm kind of like stuffy and kind of feeling weird. No, someone posted on the page that there's naked shit. There's like, someone's like posting, hey, we got naked girls. So I mean, we're getting spammed. So at least we mean
Yeah.
something now. We
I,
mean
re- I
something.
legit.
reported the comments.
What's that?
I reported the comments for you.
Cool.
Nah, let's keep them.
They're adding to our
Cooking the books.
adding to our traffic. Maybe they need more. Maybe X Hamster needed more porn bots so they could keep people's attention during the eclipse.
Maybe. Maybe.
What else we got, Matt?
That's all you can do without getting a copyright claim on YouTube.
Oh shit! I
so-
forgot about YouTube.
Yeah, I'm
I
sure
don't
that
think I'm allowed to do that.
You, dude, you weren't even in key enough. So like, it
That's a
was
good
awful.
point. Yeah.
See that's a trick. That's the way to get around it. Is just to sing bad. So flute fails. I'm pretty sure that's why they can stay on
Yeah.
because they're just not even right. Speaking of not even right, let's talk about liars. Let's talk about Dan the comedian, also known as Larry the Cable Guy.
Liar, the cable guy.
Objectively funny.
Larry the cable guy.
I find him objectively funny.
Yeah, he's great. He's
so
great.
fucking funny.
Yeah, he's the white Tyler Perry.
He's like, I think he's the whiter Andrew Dice Clay.
Yeah, I guess so.
Get Her Done is the oh. Here's Your Sign was the was his bad nursery rhymes. Here's Your Sign was Bill Engvall. No, sorry. Want to read this one?
No, go ahead.
I don't want to read this
I
one.
read the last one.
All right.
Phenomenal. Okay. Everything is a lie. This comes by way of avclub.com. This is written by Clayton Perdome.
Heard him.
Everything is a lie, including Larry the Cable Guy's southern accent. You do not need the AV Club to tell you that we live in a post-truth world in which people assimilate their own realities and selves from carefully self-selected sources, constructing a vast lie that lets them endure the agony of existence. Currently, making the rounds on Reddit is this video of the actor flitting between... Just say fucking words. Like, just use words that people know. This is the fucking thing. Is that you know
Journalism
why?
is dead.
This is why this is why people don't like liberals. This is exactly why, Clayton. Because of you. Because you use these words that it's like, is that a real word? Maybe it's a real word. I'll just take his word for it. And it fucks me up when I'm trying to read stuff. Just use words that people know. Okay? You're not cool because you know words. You're not. You're just not. Just use words that people know so that when people want to read your shit on the most popular live podcast on YouTube, people will hear it and they'll know, and I don't have to fuck it up, and people will know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Even if I did say flitting.
But
you know
no,
what flitting means?
Don't use flitting. Use like more of a like. Try not to find the most obscure word for it. Be like going back and forth between, or bouncing between, or going something like that. Instead of using flitting, I get it. But let's well, what's he talking about?
Describing himself as a quote unquote linguist chameleon. You know who's not a linguist chameleon? Clayton Purdom, because he uses dumb fucking words. And alternately,
elitist.
emulating his cousins in Wisconsin, the horse people of Northeast Kansas, the country people of Northern Florida, and ultimately George Lopez hanging out with his Mexican buddies because why not? It is either inimitable
Actually, I'm okay with inimitable.
proof to the talent of Dan Whitney, the actor behind Larry the Cable Guy, or additional evidence that he is patronizing market construction, appealing to the same commodified version of Americana as twangy, mass-produced truck pop and those people in those peeing Calvin decals.
The decals of Calvin and Hobbes being on like a Ford sign.
Oh, gotcha.
Truck nuts. Truck nut culture.
I've been trying to tell people about this forever that Larry the Cable Guy is a what word am I looking for?
act?
Clayton Purdom is he's an act. He's a fucking shill. He's a redneck shill.
The Comedy Central roast of Larry the Cable Guy, they literally make fun of him for being a character.
Mm-hmm.
That is like the crux of it, that he's Dan Whitney, he's the character. Yes, Phil.
I don't mean to interrupt in here, but I used to work Larry the Cable Guy's white trash Christmas bashes here in Nashville.
Oh.
Where was that?
I forget where they were, some venues downtown. But I would bartend for them, and anyways, very very white, very neutral accent.
Mm-hmm.
It's all an act. I mean, everyone. I thought everyone knew that at this point.
He's like Andrew Dice Clay. I was watching the history of comedy the other day, and it was put the best. So I've been on like a Dice Clay kick for about 6 months now, where like I have bits with friends where we do like a Dice Clay. I'll be like, hickory dickory dock, this bitch will suck in my cock. Oh, those bits, and coming up with new ones and stuff. And Mark Maron said it the best, that Andrew Dice Clay, although because Dice Clay was really controversial in the sense that like they're like, why would women like this? He's a misogynistic prick, and and they make the distinction. George Lopez makes the distinction first, saying that that he got so much backlash that it passed through the character of Dice and actually hit Andrew himself. Andrew Silverman, the Jewish kid from New York, or the Jewish kid from somewhere else. And then Mark Maron said the most profound thing that I'm like, this is why I like him. And it echoed kind of through my psyche. It was like, is it so bad that he was so popular? He goes, it's probably not the best thing. He goes, it's probably not the best thing that he was so celebrated, and that the misogyny that he promoted was so bad. But he goes, but at the same time, as everyone was listening to it and everyone was seeing it, it also heightened and brought to the surface how stupid people are. So it made it look funny, but it also made it look so fucking stupid and irredeemable. I'm like, that's what Larry the Cable Guy does for me. If I know what he's joking about, then at least I know I have a better idea of like what's going on in Southern culture.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like the camel hat truck nut culture. It's my take on him. I don't think he's all bad.
No, I
think he's fucking
Larry the Cable
hilarious.
Guy's great. Larry the Cable Guy.
That's funny right there.
People saying that he's hack. The thing about being hack is that like if you make something so popular, you are not hack. You just made something like people like the whole what's up with airplane food, like jokes like that, and then people will go back and see that like Seinfeld used to do that, but he was the one that invented it. So if you make something so popular that everyone starts trying to do it, or everyone tries to start being like you, and they're being hacked. But Larry the Cable Guy was not being hacked.
No, he's a pioneer. He comes out of that
pioneer,
late 80s,
Yeah.
80s like comedy lull.
You can't blame this guy that everyone wanted to be like him. Everyone started doing characters or people. I also don't think he didn't start that, but he was certainly like one of the pioneers.
Andy
of it.
Kaufman did it. Bobcat Goldthwait did it. Who else? Dice Clay was doing it, but then he actually did become Dice himself. He kind of fell into that character. So that started believing his own bullshit. But there were so many of those acts that would do that this new kind of self-realization, this like exposing yourself and like deferring to the fact that, yeah, this is your mom and dad's fault if a joke doesn't work. Like, yeah, like, fuck you. Get into it. Just if it's funny, it's funny. If it makes you laugh, it's funny.
Yeah.
That's what I say.
Yeah.
If it makes people laugh, it's funny.
Yeah.
So, Larry, you're off the hook. Oh, this article ends like a piece of shit, too.
I'm glad that we found out that that Dan Whitney is not just Larry the Cable Guy, and I'm hoping that sometime soon we can start to appreciate Dan Whitney for Dan Whitney.
Well, do we need to appreciate Dan Whitney for Dan Whitney? Because in the last sentence of this article says, "We are all Larry the Cable Guy, each in our own way." Fuck you, Purdom.
Yeah. Hey, Purdom, quit looking up different. Put down your thesaurus and pick up a fucking joke book. You bitch.
He's a contributor. He's a contributor at Clayton PURGOM.
How about you contribute right here, Clayton?
Contribute these nuts. Thanks, AV Club.
All right.
What was that in the Great Job Internet section anyway? It's stupid. Dude, we got real cynical here in a minute. I think those ads really kind of threw off the
ads. Really fucked me up. Ads got me real angry, a lot angrier than I usually am, and I don't apologize.
Where we at? You wanna do one more? Wait, do we have more time? It's only 5.
Yeah.
I thought it was 5:45. Sorry.
No.
It's only 5:15. Wow.
No. Wow.
We're jamming through these stories.
What? Go ahead. Throw one up.
Let's stay on the idea that funny is funny. Again, this comes by way of AV Club. This is written by Randall Colburn. It says, read this. Millennial humor is weird as hell.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Cool, vague. The picture on the front of the article is Eric Heidecker in a hamburger costume wearing stepdad sunglasses and no pants, and someone that looks like if Lando Calrissian dressed like Neil deGrasse Tyson bowing to the crowd. Millennials will be studied by their memes. Cool. Unfortunately, the only conclusion researchers are likely to find is that there isn't one conclusion. Once upon a time, surrealism and Dadaism were just artistic movements. Now, the core tenets of those approaches have unwittingly been adopted by our nation's youth, who routinely clog Facebook, Twitter, Instagram with memes that will reduce the inquisitive brain to taffy. That just sounds like some reefer madness bullshit to me.
Uh-oh.
We've written a great deal about it, from Simpsons shitposting to dancing hot dog to sheriff of sucking you off, which I looked at before the show is a Brandon Wardell creation. Which it's a bunch of the hundreds, keep it 100 signs. It looked like a sheriff. Stupid. All while trying to mine the meaning from bits that thrive on meaninglessness. In the new piece in the Washington Post, Elizabeth Brunig first acknowledges the obvious. Millennials live in America that looks nothing like the one that their parents grew up in. Morally, economically, and technologically, this is a fundamentally different place. Are you just trying to set up the obvious? That's fine. Just keep going. She continues, yet the world is full of noise. Information is both more accessible and perhaps more oppressively omnipresent than ever, and also less reliable. And people select their facts, and the business fund think tanks produce reports indistinguishable from hard data, except that they are not remotely true. Blah, 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 blah. Matt, are millennials funny? Give it to me.
I mean,
this article is just like, it's just so long, and
I'm just so fucking tired of people, and especially millennials, like doing this like case study on everything millennial. Why do millennials do this? Why do millennials do that? Why are millennials this way?
Millennials and avocado toast? Oh, is that really gonna bring us
weird.
down? Well, you know what? Free avocado toast for everyone.
I don't like it when people think that they just like they know. Now they know how millennials are, you know. They like memes. These wacky millennials and their fucking memes. Just let people like shit. It's just I don't understand why it's always just like what they don't get real humor. They like memes. Maybe that's fucking real humor to us. You know what I mean? You know what I mean?
I do know what you mean. I don't particularly love memes because I feel like they're a little too accessible. For me personally, it's like I don't find the memes as funny as, say, like a good joke, like a well put together joke, like an absurd thing. I just don't like it. I just don't like the way that it's the packaging, the way it's delivered to me. I don't necessarily appreciate. And also, there was on You Made It Weird. There was an episode where they talked to, I can't remember his name, but the guy who does Trump on the Trump Show on Comedy Central.
Yeah.
Where he goes, Trump is like a loaded weapon and should be handled delicately, and it shouldn't fall into the wrong hands, because if too many people do it, it normalizes it. Memes have kind of democratized comedy to make it accessible for everyone, but I don't think a lot of it's very funny, and I think a lot of people are sheep. So a lot of people are thinking something's funny when it really isn't.
Yeah.
So it kind of bastardizes like the true nature of a joke.
Yeah.
So for someone that appreciates the speaking, off the cuff, conversational aspects of comedy, memes kind of don't deliver those same benefits as a meme does, or as those do. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Yeah. Anything else?
That's my take. I can appreciate memes, but I don't think that they're the best.
I love memes. I think that they're the best. I think that they're peak humor. I do. Anyone can make them. Everyone gets them. They have layers. Memes are like cakes.
Or ogres.
Memes are like ogres. All right? They have layers. And if you can't see the layers, don't fucking get mad at us because you're stupid. You know?
Yeah.
If all you see is the fist pump, baby, don't get mad at me that you can't understand the socioeconomic characteristics that fist pump baby embodies. You know? Memes are
I don't know
high
if you're
art.
being so hyperbolic right now. I can't tell.
If you can't truly appreciate a Gwen Stefani remix of that girl hitting the other girl in the head with the shovel.
With the shovel.
If you can't
That
get
but
on
that's
board,
incontestably funny. But then there's
it's a meme.
But I'm talking about the memes that where they're saying like the joke is the punchline is this, and everyone tags the punchline, like with like Velociraptor, like that was a good piece of meme. You know, the one where like if this is this, then why
Yeah.
is this? Or like the fry being like, huh?
Yeah.
Like that. Those can be funny, but then sometimes they just get overdone and over appropriated, and then the joke's no longer funny, and it almost seems like Pepe the Frog, it can get appropriated into the wrong way, and it becomes people take them more seriously. They don't leave them as jokes. People are trying to make more of a statement with memes than I think.
They're trying to make them. They're trying to make them meaningful. That's all they're doing.
That was good. I like that. I slapped Matt's knee.
How you feeling?
I'm feeling good. I think we could probably. Do we have any more stories?
Nah.
You feeling good?
Yeah, I mean there was just one more, and I didn't really
Yeah,
want to talk about it.
I was avoiding it too.
I didn't want to talk about goddamn what's his name, Father John Misty,
By the way, he was called out by Ryan Adams this week,
Father John Misty.
saying he was a real piece of shit and he was a pompous jackass.
That Father John Misty was.
Yeah, Ryan
Well,
Adams taking shots at Father John Misty.
Well, his name is him acting like he's a fucking pastor. So
Yeah.
what did we expect?
You know what? Chance the rapper pretends to be a pastor and not a rapper. So
Chance the pastor?
Chance the pastor. You want to make Chance the pastor shirts?
No. Yes, I do. I
That-
don't
that-
know why I said no.
I think he might be into that.
Yeah.
Make me off a piece of that Kit Kat bar.
Guys, this has been Pop Topics, a show with all the media news you need and none of the opinions you want. I'm one of your hosts, Matt Boyd, at Matt Neil Boyd on Twitter, Neil with an A.
And I'm Casey Shaheen at Gym Class Tryhard across all social media.
Thank you for watching the show. If you came in a little bit late or you haven't watched the show yet, go over to the YouTube page. The link is on the Facebook page. Please subscribe to the channel. If we get 100 subscribers, we can get a custom URL for the YouTube page. If you're listening on iTunes, also go over there. Go to facebook.com/5051radio. Spell it out, 5051 radio. Click on the link to the YouTube page. Go to the YouTube page. Subscribe. It helps us out a lot.
Guys, I love it. You guys be good to yourselves. We'll see you next week, every Tuesday. Make sure to tune into our We Drink and We Know Things podcast. It's posted every Tuesday or Wednesday. Matt got it up really quick this week. So episode 6 of season 7, which is episode 6 of season 2 of our show, is currently up on this same feed. So get into it. Tell us what you think. Tell us what you like. It's where we get really drunk and recap Game of Thrones and sound like a bunch of curmudgeons, which is a lot like this show. Bye, guys. Be good. Take care of yourself.